Welcome back to the Pat Burns Arena for Semifinal 2 of the CPSHA playoffs. This matchup will be between Stanstead and Upper Canada College, with the winner playing Bishop's College School tomorrow after their dramatic victory over the Ross St. Netherwood School. Starting goaltender for Stanstead, number 35, Renaud Mongrain. The starting goaltender for UCC, number 1, Shane Ablett, as we get underway here, as that puck is touched back to Captain Brody Malloy, and it's already 1-0 Stanstead just 10 seconds in. What a start here for the Spartans. That shot by the captain beating Ablett low to the blocker's side, and Stanstead jumps out to the early 1-0 lead. Malloy will line up to take the following face-off here, as you wonder if that first shift could get any better. That puck's worked to the wall and put into center, where it's chopped ahead and retrieved by Foot. Foot dropping it back to Shepard. Shepard circling the net as he gets it up the wall and touched ahead into the neutral zone, where that's fired all the way back in. And Shepard will get it. Shepard to Foot. Foot will look middle to Malloy, who will give it up to Gans, but that's broken up. Now Malloy with it. He'll send it to the UCC defender, where it goes D to D and sent back, where it'll get returned to partner and deflected through the neutral zone, but then put deep by the UCC forward as Gabriel DeSantis collects it for Stanstead. He touches up to Mate Dobos, who gets it back to DeSantis. DeSantis in now. He shoots. That goes high and wide of the net as Orr keeps the puck in. Orr over to Dobos. Dobos on net and held on to by Ablett for the whistle. As Ablett makes his first save of the hockey game. This faceoff will come to the goaltender's right as Arrigo lines up to take the draw. Arrigo pushing that one forward, but able to collect as it is skated ahead by the Blues. And now in the neutral zone and controlled now by Arrigo. Arrigo now flipping it ahead to Mustonen, but he's not able to get it deep, so that puck gets worked back as Mustonen now with it. Mustonen will move it up to Dobos. Dobos now touching it ahead to Orr, skating ahead. Orr in, dragging, as that puck will roll in on Ablett for the whistle. As that puck is collected, given to the referee, and that will come now to the left of the goaltender. Have to check the record books, but you would assume that that goal by Brody Malloy is the fastest CPSHA goal to start a game at just 10 seconds into the first frame. As that faceoff went back to Lavoie, shot on goal and saved by Ablett. As UCC tries to get out of their end, but kept in here by Dubé. Dubé putting that one low for Banks. Banks now putting it out in front for Lavoie off the post and in. Stanstead doubling their lead. Just a minute 55 into this first period. It's Alexi Lavoie on the pass from Parker Banks behind the net. As it is now 2-0 Spartans. Lavoie will take the next draw for Stanstead, but that is won by Naka as that moved ahead and sent down the ice, but that is deflected, so no icing. Gets it put in front for Naka, and he's not able to get it, but the rebound is put home by Crombie. Great response there by the Blues as they answer. They answer in 20 seconds as it is now 2-1. Crombie with the put back, but it was Naka who was left alone in the slot and able to get it to net. As it is now 2-1. Very eventful first couple minutes here at the Pat Burns Arena. And it's now Corey Logan out set to take the draw for the Spartans, but it's won by UCC as they carry it ahead and put it deep by Will Scott as Auger Mongrain out to stop it, but here comes Shepard with it now. Shepard up ice. Shepard able to put that one in deep as Ablett out to play it. Ablett rimming it up the wall for Crombie. Crombie around for Scott. Scott able to get that one out to center as Foot will collect. Foot flipping that one in on goal, and that's touched to Scott, who pushes around, but Dobosh first to it. Dobosh will turn that one over to you, who puts it around for Scott, and he is able to get ahead, but that pass is blocked by Dobosh. Dobosh now coming through the neutral zone as he gets that puck into the UCC end. He's with it below the goal line. He tries to put it out front, but blocked. He's still with it as Naka knocks him off the puck as Scott will bring it forward and put it around where Mongrain will stop it. He will leave it for Orr as he gets going. Here comes Dylan Orr. Orr up to Gans. Gans now entering. Gans to net, and that is off the stick of Hayden and wide, but Orr to net, but that's off the foot of Naka, who's in some pain as that goes Hayden to Gans. Saved by Ablett. Good play there to get that puck to Emmanuel Gans in the near side pocket. But the good chest save there by Ablett as that one caught him high. So Malloy will line up for the draw against his opponent there. That's James Zhang, but draw one by Zhang as that is flipped over top of Orr and down the ice. That's right in on Mongrain, so he will have to cover up for the whistle. As this faceoff will come to his right. This will be Zhang, Avery, and Bick out there for Dan Noble's squad. That draw is won by Malloy, back to Orr, but pressured there. So that puck will get moved out to Gans on the far side. Gans in now. Gans looking for Hayden in the high slot, but that's broken up. Chaz Fauché now out there for Stanstead as he will get the puck to Tanner Hayden. Fauché now reversing the puck to Hayden. Hayden chips it ahead for Gans. Gans now up to Malloy, but that's off his stick. And now controlled by UCC. That puck moved ahead for Avery, but that's through his feet. And Fauché back to it first for icing. Another reminder that it's hybrid icing. No change on icing, and the offensive team can pick which side the ensuing faceoff will take place on. So Elijah Rigo electing to have that faceoff to the left of goaltender Shane Ablett. He will win that draw back, but it's where it's sent to Moosonen, who puts it below the goal line. But now it is up to Avery for the breakout. Now Zhang with a step. He gets through the feet of Fauché. Here's Zhang in on net. Great save there by Mongrain. That hit the knob of his stick and almost snuck by the goaltender, but that now is tipped in by Dobosh into the UCC end. Here's Dobosh behind the net. He chips it to Moosonen. Moosonen within the corner. He'll give it down to Dobosh. He gets it up to Foot. Over to Shepard. Shepard shooting. That's saved by Ablett. Rebound now cleared by Zhang as that's chipped ahead by Brady. But Shepard with it now. He'll get it all the way up to Dobosh as he comes down the wing. Dobosh drops it through the legs to Moosonen. Moosonen now behind the net. He circles to the front. That's off the pad of Ablett in front. And this will be cleared by Liss as he gets taken down. No call as Brady is able to put that in deep for the Blues. It's Mongren out to play it. He'll rim it around for Dobosh, but that's over his stick as it gets to the line for Scott. Scott pushing down the wall. He'll shoot, and a glove save by Mongren. .42 now left in the first period. Things have settled down a bit since a chaotic first couple minutes there. Shots now 6-4 for Stanstead. As this will be Bick to take the draw against Lavoie, one of today's goal scorers. Lavoie will win this to Banks, but that's kept in by UCC as Orr looks to clear it, but that's kept along the wall. Back to Orr now as he looks to break the puck out as he'll stop up and curl. He'll send it into the middle for Lavoie, who's able to maintain possession. As Dubé now with it. Dubé shot high on Ablett. That rebound comes out in front, but knocked away by Scott. Puck now behind the UCC goal as Dubé still fighting for it as that goes through the legs of Banks. And now cleared as Bick is away with it, but he's closed off by Orr. Here's DeSantis with it as he wheels around the net. He's hooked by Bick, but no call. Here's Orr stopping behind the net. Orr now maneuvering up ice. Orr will get to the blue line and flip it in deep for a change as UCC breaks out. That puck is off the stick of Crombie and will go the length of the ice for icing. As this face-off will come back into the Blues' end. And the face-off coming to the left of goaltender Ablett. It'll be Corey Logan on the draw against Naka. As this face-off's won by Logan, back to Dobosh. Dobosh to Fauché at the point. Fauché will just put one off the side of the goal as UCC looks to break out. Here's Crombie with the goal for the Blues as he moves it up to Burley. Burley to Naka. Naka will flip that one in right on Mongren. But he'll play it to Fauché. Fauché up to Dobosh as he has some time to skate. And he'll come in. He tries to make a nice toe drive, but he'll turn that one over. And here come the Blues as they come 3-on-2. They'll kick that one up. A good back check over by Dobosh to get back, but he's tripped up. And Stanstead will go to their first power play of the game. Hopefully Dobosh is okay. He is back on his 2 feet and skating back to the bench. So with 13 minutes left in the first period, Stanstead will go to the man advantage. As it is Nowakowski going off for on the penalty. So we'll have Malloy, Gans, Foote, Shepard, Hayden out there for Matthew Thompson's power play unit. This faceoff is won by Malloy and controlled by Foote, who gives it back to Shepard at the point. Shepard will walk the blue line as some players switch around, but now Shepard has it again over to Foote. Foote down to Hayden, back up to Foote. Foote over to Shepard. Shepard down to Malloy. He cuts in, but he fans on that one, and that'll be cleared by James Zhang all the way down the ice. He'll put some pressure on Mongren and make a play with it as he gives it to Shepard. And Shepard will give it to Malloy, and now over to Foote, who will give it up to Emmanuel Gans. Here comes Gans with some speed as he'll curl back to set it up for Stanstead. That's back to Foote, now over to Hayden. Hayden now curls, shoots. That goes wide, and that will go all the way out. So UCC able to change and get some fresh legs out there as Shepard goes up to Malloy at the blue line, and he'll chip it ahead for Gans. Gans now back up to Malloy, up to Shepard. Shepard down to Malloy, up to Shepard, down to Malloy. They play catch. Here's Malloy shooting. That goes wide, but kept in by Foote on the far side. Foote up to Shepard. Shepard shooting, rebound, and that's cleared away. As Hayden collects and sends it up to Foot. Foot now walking the blue line down to Hayden. Hayden off his stick, back to Foot. Shot. That goes over top of the goal. And now Malloy with it on the far side. He'll give it up to Shepard. Back to Malloy. Malloy will walk in. Malloy. Ooh, and he thought he had the top corner pick, but that gets sent up and out of play. So 29 seconds left on the minor penalty to Nowakowski. As Coach Thompson will send a new power play unit out there. With Lavoie looking to win this draw against Naka. That draw is won by Lavoie to Dobosh, fired on goal by Moosonen, but that's blocked by his own player. And now this will be sent down the ice by List. So that puck sent back up to Dobosh. 19 seconds left on this man advantage. As that puck's put in deep, where Scott will be first to it for UCC, and Scott able to get it to the line, but not out as Orr keeps it in. Orr to Dobosh with a shot and pad save there by Ablett. As now this puck is sent down the ice by Scott, and that'll all but do it for the Stanstead power play as Orr back for it. Good kill there by the Blues to keep it a one-goal game. Here's Orr with it. Orr weaving his way through the neutral zone as he tries to put that one that hits the linesman. And bad bounce for the Spartans. That will end up in an offside call. Just about halfway through this first period of semifinal number 2. Shots now 9-5 for the Spartans. As this faceoff will come outside the UCC zone in front of the fan section. As this is Crombie on the draw for UCC, he'll win it to Babcock, who will chip it ahead, and Orr's first to skate on it for Stanstead. Orr stops behind the net as he's pressured, and he's knocked off the puck. So Crombie will collect. Crombie now below the goal line. He's pushed off the puck by Orr, and DeSantis will collect for Stanstead. DeSantis up to Dobosh, up to Lavoie, but just a bit ahead of him, but he'll regain possession. He'll drop back to Moosonen as he puts that puck in deep for Lavoie. That's poked ahead by Rodriguez to the wall, where it is reversed by Jang. Banks now in there for Stanstead as he will collect the puck as he gets tangled up with Crombie in the corner. Banks and Dubé now below the goal line for Stanstead. That is sent up for UCC now, as this is Crombie getting it deep. Work now with it for Stanstead. He sends it up the wall to Banks. That's in his feet, but he'll regain possession. But he's knocked off the puck there, and that will get turned over in the neutral zone of UCC. Now chipped in. It's Bork fending off his player as Fauché gets it out. And Dubé now getting the puck to Banks. Banks working wide as he gets hit hard there by Butler. And now UCC will collect. That pass behind Shuttleworth and put back in by Foot. Ablett playing that puck to Burley. Burley now giving that puck up the wall, but off his teammate's stick into Foot at the blue line, who'll put it in deep. As Butler gets it, he'll move it up the wall, but kept in by DeSantis, who'll put it to net, but that's turned over. And a stretch pass ahead, but cut off there by Max Shepard. Good play by the Stanstead defender. As Shepard will move it up the wall to Dobosh, but hounded there. But now finally Dobosh able to get away, as he will try to work on Butler here. Dobosh coming wide on Butler, has player going to the net, and a great save there by Ablett. As that puck found Corey Logan driving the back post, but the goaltender Ablett able to stretch out and make a nice pad save, as this puck is flipped back in the Stanstead nose. Shepard gets it ahead to Dobosh, but that'll get to Kieran O'Brien's stick as he'll poke it in to UCCN, where it'll be Scott carrying it now. Scott, he's stopped, but now it'll be UCC still with it as they drive wide into the offensive zone. This is Zhang. Zhang up to Scott, back to Zhang. But we will have a stoppage for the net being dislodged. 8:12 remaining here in the first period. Now shots on goal now 10-5 for the Spartans. As the UCC coaches speak to the official, not sure why, but we're set to get back underway here. Seems to be some discussion, but all good. As this will be Bick to take the draw. Bick will lose that one to Gans as Orr circles the net. Or up to Hayden, who tries to go rink wide for Gans, but that's cut off. But Malloy will play it, but that is play with a high stick, so we'll get another stoppage here. This face-off will come just outside the Stanstead zone towards the fan section. As Bick and Malloy will line up to take this draw. That face-off is won and pushed back to Scott. Scott will flip that into the Stanstead end where it'll be Orr back to retrieve. Orr pressured by Zhang but able to get away. Orr up to Malloy but kept in. And now finally out as Malloy tries to speed past his defender. Malloy at an angle to the net. He finds Hayden in the high slot. Hayden with a shot. And that goes wide to the glove side of Ablett. As this will be Avery with the puck now. Avery giving that puck to you. Up to Zhang. Zhang to the middle to Bick as he will try to chip that by Orr, but unsuccessful as Hayden has that puck knocked off his slipper. He'll have Orr ahead to Gans. Gans looking for Malloy, but that's deflected away by you. Here's Malloy with it on the half wall. As he looks to push ahead, that's put into the skates of Hayden. Here's Hayden in the high slot. Hayden dragging. Hayden back to Fauché, who gives it back to Hayden. Down to Gans. Gans now working on his man. Gans in the feet, and that's poked away. Hayden with a sharp angle shot, and that's shouldered away by Ablett as Bork puts that down to Hayden on the wall, and Zhang now finally able to relieve the pressure. Here's Dobosh moving that puck up to Malloy, quickly trying to catch the Blues on a change. Here's Malloy with a shot, that's blocked. Dobosh with a shot, that goes high and wide. As that puck is moved ahead and finally flipped out. But Bork now with it in the neutral zone as he sends it to Fauché, who will send it to Rodriguez, but that's bobbled. That's puck sent to Mustonen, and that hits the outside of the post. Dobosh now having a good start to this one as List comes in to help for UCC, and List will get it ahead to Brady, but that's knocked off his stick as Rodriguez will get it ahead. Here's Brady with it. Brady chips it ahead, and it's List now with it. List with a shot, and that goes wide. Now kept in by Butler, tipped ahead. Here's List within the high slot. List shooting, and that's blocked by Fauché. Now Mustonen with it. Mustonen by himself, so he will flip it for Arrigo, but that's broken up nicely there by UCC, but now carried back in by Banks, and he turned over in the high slot to Parker Banks, who shoots off the blocker of Ablett and out of play. Apologies, a lot going on in that little sequence as we have 5:48 left in this first period. Shots now 14-6 for the Spartans as Parker Bank lines up to take this draw to the right of goaltender Shane Ablett. Knocker for UCC. That draw is won by Banks into the line for Shepard, but unable to hold that puck in as Foot back for it. Foot will retreat all the way behind his net and step out. He'll give it up to Banks, but that's pinched down. But now Foot able to flip it ahead, and we'll have a 2-on-1 here as Dubé looking for Lavoie, but that pass broken up nicely as UCC will come back in transition. Here's Naka. Naka shooting. Glove saved there by Malmgren. That faceoff will take place to the right of the goaltender as Lavoie lines up to take it against Naka. Naka losing that one to Lavoie. Shepard rims that one around to Banks. Banks pressure there by Scott as that puck stays in as Crombie with a good effort there. That puck's taken off the wall. Now poked ahead by Dubé. Here comes Shane Dubé on a breakaway. Dubé in. Backhand scores. Spartans build their lead as Shane Dubé left all alone on the breakaway, and he'll slip it 5-hole on Ablett. Looks like Dubé may have wanted to make a more creative move there, but the back check of Scott actually knocking the puck off his stick through the wickets of the goaltender. So Stanstead will regain their 2-goal lead with 5:02 left in this first period. Much to the happiness of the Stanstead student section, as Logan will put this one into the UCCN. Dobos now with it on the wall as that's turned over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez up to Zhang as he's bodied there by Logan. Logan will create the turnover as he comes in 1-on-3. He gets taken down, no call. But this gets poked ahead, but kept in for Dobos as a late offside call there by the official. So this faceoff will come in front of the UCC bench. Coaching staff wondering why this faceoff isn't going all the way down, as it seemed it was rather delayed. But we are set to get back to action here as Vic and Logan line up to take the draw. It's won by Logan as back to Orr as he dumps that puck in. This will be Zhang over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez skating with it now. He'll try and find Bick through the middle, but that's off his stick. As DeSantis sends it ahead to Dobos, and he'll put that in. Ablett out to play the puck. Ablett will give it to Rodriguez, but he chops it for Zhang. Zhang fans on his pass, so that puck will stay in the Spartans' end as he's knocked down, and O'Brien able to keep that puck in for Stanstead, but here comes Bick circling backboard. Bick up to Rodriguez as he crosses the red line. Rodriguez will put that puck in deep. As Orr first to it, Orr turns back, and he'll drop it to DeSantis, who now stops behind the Spartan goal. DeSantis up to Gans, and Gans will flip it off a glove. And now here's Malloy streaking down the wing. Malloy by his man. He tries to shoot, but he's pushed wide. And that puck will stay. Get turned over to Gans on the wall as he comes in. Gans back to Malloy. Malloy shooting. Saved by Ablett as that rebound goes to the corner where Gans will be first to it. Gans curling up to Bork at the point. Bork shooting for a stick, and that just hits the outside of the net. Off the tip by Malloy. But here comes Fauché down the wall, keeping this one in for the Spartans as Hayden works behind the net. Hayden getting worked on by Bick as he trips him up, but no call. That puck will get to the point for Bork as he floats one in there, looking for the stick of Malloy, but that will be caught and held by Ablett. This faceoff will come to his left with 3:11 remaining in the opening frame. He's certainly been busy so far this period with 18 shots being thrown at him as Malloy comes in to take the draw against Naka. This draw is one to the wall where Hayden battles for it. He'll push that in deep, but it will be Butler rimming it around where Fauché will hold the line. Fauché down to Gans. Gans dropping it to Malloy. Malloy over to Bork, who will put it down the wall to Hayden, but that is off his stick, and Crombie will get it ahead. Now UCC away with it as they create a 2-on-1 shot on goal. Rebound, big save by Mongrain. Crombie now with it as a delayed penalty against Stanstead as Butler will have it at the point. Butler over to Burley, shot on goal, and Mongrain will finally cover up. But it'll be UCC heading to the power play as I believe this will be Frederick Bork heading off for the slash. Excuse me, this will be Captain Brody Malloy headed off. So with 2:36 left in the period, UCC will get their first power play of the game as Zhang is out there to take the draw. Zhang will win this one, and this puck will get back to Yu at the point. Yu down to Crombie with a lane. That shot hit a couple bodies and went just wide as UCC maintains possession. It's Zhang with it. He'll go back up to Crombie. Crombie up to Yu. To the far side to Rodriguez. To the bumper to List. And that shot gets blocked and then covered by Mongrain. Nice set play there by the Blues. So this faceoff will come to Mongrain's right with Zhang on the draw. Zhang losing that one, and Foot looking to be first to it, but List with a good job to tie him up, and that puck's now up to you. You to Crombeen, but that's turned over, and as Crombeen whacks the stick out of Gans' hands, so that will go for a penalty. So we will be playing 4-on-4 for the next minute 28 as Crombeen heads off for interference. So officially UCC will not be successful on their first power play of the game, as this faceoff comes all the way back into the UCC end. Stanstead with one too many guys out there at the moment, but Shepard will come off. So it'll be Dobos, Mustonen, DeSantis, or out there for Coach Thompson's team. But draw is won by UCC. There's a bit more space out there to create. This will be you circling back. You now headed up ice. Here comes you, working on Orr. Orr gets the better of that battle, but that puck will go into the Stanstead corner. And worked around where U's fighting there. He'll try to put one out front. That's turned over to Orr. Here comes Dylan Orr with numbers. Here's Dobos with it. Dobos to Mustonen. Mustonen shooting. That goes wide. DeSantis at the point. He'll try to put that puck in deep, but that's sent to Wu. We'll go back to Scott. Scott hit hard into the boards by Dobos, and we will have another penalty as Mate Dobos will head to the box, presumably for boarding. Yes. So that will be Dobos to the box for boarding, and now we will see how much these teams practice these types of situations, as UCC will be going to the uncommon 4v3 power play for the next 53 seconds, as some confusion there, as it seemed like they wanted timeout, but no timeout by Dan Noble's squad, as they'll get everyone to line up here. Wouldn't be the worst of timeouts to call here, as down by 2 in the first period with a odd man advantage situation, but they elect not to pursue that. So Zhang out to take the draw for UCC. He will win that back, and now it's you with it. Here's you. You over to the wing. That's blocked by DeSantis, and Gans will now clear. Let's see if Gans can beat his man, but Ablett way out to play this one. Uh-oh, that'll hit Gans, but Ablett heading back to the net, but that puck not at a good angle for Gans to shoot, so he will just hold that puck in the corner, kill some time off this power play. Last minute of play here in the first period as Zhang comes away with it for UCC. Here comes Zhang through the neutral zone. Zhang kind of by himself here as he waits for, he'll get that puck up to Bick. Bick with it. Bick down to Zhang. Zhang out front. Up top. That shot's blocked. Rebound for you. That shot's wide. As Zhang still with it. And now chipped out of the zone is Orr. Here comes Ablett. Ablett on his backhand. Oh, that's turned over to Mustonen. Here comes Mustonen. He'll dipsy duel in and not able to finish as Ablett was scrambling back into his net. So now we're back to 4-on-4 hockey here for the next 17 seconds. As here comes Bick with it as UCC changes. Bick now skating with it. He might have a lane in the net here. Here comes Bick on the backhand. That goes high. And around the boards to Naka. Naka out front. Tipped on goal by Rodriguez. And a good save there by Mongrain, who swallows that one up with the catching glove. As we have 5.8 seconds left in the first period, 1 second left in the penalty to Crombeen. So time maybe for one last shot here off the face-off. So we'll see what the Blues draw up here as it's Naka to take the draw. Naka winning this one. Over to Scott. Shot on goal. That goes high above Mongrain, and that will do it for the first period. As UCC will start the second period on the power play, as there will be 31 seconds left in the penalty to Mate Dobos. Shots at the end of the first period, 19-14 in favor of Stanstead, with some fast-paced action taking place. But it's the Spartans with the 3-1 lead as we head to the intermission. And welcome back to the Pat Burns Arena for period 2 of semifinal 2 between Upper Canada College and Stanstead College. Upper Canada College will start the period on the power play, as there are 31 seconds remaining in the Mate Dobosh Minor, as this puck is sent way down the ice. And they will start in their own end, but it's Gans on the forecheck who will keep this puck below the goal line, but now it will be Bick skating ahead with it. Here's Bick. Weaving. Giving the puck to Zhang. Here's Zhang. Zhang, puck knocked off his stick by Malloy, but that puck's kept in as Zhang gets it back. Zhang now roughed up by Shepard as List with it now. List behind the net. We're now back to 5-on-5. Zhang out front to Bick, and that just goes off his stick as Hayden will transition. He'll give it to Gans over to Malloy. That rolls off his stick as he pokes that to Gans behind the net. He's hit hard there by Bick. And now List with it. Here comes List. That's turned over to Hayden, where Malloy takes it. Oh, good play there by Rodriguez to disrupt that one. Otherwise, it would have been like a 3-on-1 there for Stanstead. As Hayden back with it. Hayden will give it to Malloy at the red line, and he'll send that one over top of the goal. But here's Gans with it. He'll give it to Hayden in the slot, but that's knocked away. Back up to DeSantis. Over to Orr. Orr puts one through off the crossbar. That seemed to hit something on the way to the net, but score will stay at 3-1 as UCC comes into the Stanstead zone now. He'll give it to Naka off the bench, and that goes wide off the boards and out of play. Face-off coming to the left of goaltender Mongrain, as Naka will line up to take the draw. Out there with Crombeen and Novakowski. Naka winning that draw back to Butler, who will put it below the goal line, where Crombeen will race after it, but it's Fauché getting there first and touching it hit to Moosonen. Moosonen unable to get that puck out, so we will play on in the Spartans' defensive zone as DeSantis now, Arrigo trying to get to the far side, but Butler pinching down to keep that in, and now here comes Arrigo with the puck as he's able to get across the red line and put that one in deep for himself. He's first to it. He'll circle the net. That's knocked off his stick to Dobosh. Puck out in front, and that's cleared, but not out, as now Naka will skate with it. He'll get it to Crombeen, who will flip it in on Mongrain, who will soak that up for a whistle. Intensity picking up here in this second period, as this draw will come to the right of goaltender Mongrain, with Lavoie set to take the draw against List. Face-off won there by Lavoie. That gets sent back to Shepard. Shepard hounded there by Brady, as Shepard will turn back again. He'll send that puck over to Foot. We'll move it to Banks, but that's pinched on by Scott, but Banks still will get that puck out, as it is now Yu with it. Yu up ahead. That gets past Foot, and we'll go all the way for icing, as Shepard is the first one back. But we will get a penalty here coming against the Spartans, I believe, as it's going to be Dubé heading off for the slash. I will be honest, I did not see that one from up here, but the Spartans will now have to kill another penalty. Now some debate over where the face-off will take place, as the penalty was called, but that puck was sent for icing. So this face-off will be taking place outside the Stanstead end in front of the glass. Still some debate over the draw, and I think they're going to get this one correct, and we're just about ready to start play, as this draw is won by UCC. Back to Rodriguez, over to Scott. Scott ahead, and put in by Novakowski, where Mongrain will try and rim this one out himself, but that's kept in by Scott at the line. Here comes Scott shooting. Glove save by Mongrain. This faceoff will take place to the left of the goaltender with 17:06 remaining in the second period. Draw one there by Naka, back to Scott. Scott walking the blue line now. Scott challenged by Gans. Scott and switching position. Scott down the goal line. That puck will come back up top for Babcock. Babcock shot. That's blocked by Gans. Babcock back up to Scott. Scott now. Gans still in front of him. Scott over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will look for a lane. He'll give it back to Scott. Scott over to Babcock. That shot is blocked by Shepard. Is he laid out for that one? Puck gets him back to the line, and here comes Gans in a breakaway. 2-on-0 now as Malloy joins to Malloy. Shot scores! Short-handed goal for the Spartans, as Brody Malloy will collect his second of the game. That puck into the feet of the UCC defender and deflecting into the neutral zone, where it was Emmanuel Gans picking that puck and heading in on a 2-on-0, where he very unselfishly gave the puck to the captain, as Stanstead increases their lead to 4-1. This goal comes right at the halfway mark of the Dubé penalty, so UCC will still have a minute left on their opportunity, as this puck is won back to you. You to Bick, but that's off of Zhang's stick and now sent all the way down by Orr. Bick pressured hard here by Mustinen as that puck sent up to Zhang. Here comes Zhang. Zhang into the feet of Crombeen as that gets put into the corner for Zhang. Zhang will cut back to Crombeen. Up to you. You will pull one through the net. That's blockered away by Mongrain into the netting and out of play. 29 seconds left on the penalty to Dubé, as this faceoff will come to the right of Mongrain. Zhang on the draw for the Blues. Faceoff won by Zhang. Back to you. You will put it along the boards, but that is now poked out by DeSantis, and a 2-on-1 here for Stanstead. Here's Mustinen in. Mustinen shooting. He goes high above the goal, and that puck comes all the way out to Orr, who will send it in deep. 10 seconds left now on the UCC power play. Here's Bick skating with it. Here comes Bick skating through the zone. Bick dropping it to List. List now coming in. List to you at the point. You with the shot. That goes wide. We're back to even as Crombeen will rim it around. And it will be Hayden with it as he tries to get it ahead to Gans. Ablett now playing the puck over to you. You circling the net and picking up steam. Here comes you. You will flip that one off the chest of Bork, and that stays out, so Hayden will come away with it. Here comes Hayden into the zone. Hayden shooting. That hits Ablett in the head and will go to the corner. Good save there by the goaltender, as that puck gets worked to Malloy on the weak side corner. In front of Gans. That's off the pad. Rebound lying there and covered up by Shane Ablett for the whistle. 14:43 left in this second period. Shots now 22-18 for the Spartans, as this faceoff now coming to the left of Ablett. Malloy set to take the draw for the Spartans. Faceoff won by Malloy. Back to Bork at the point. Bork over to Fauché. Fauché just going on net, but that's padded away by Ablett. Back up to Fauché at the point. Fauché shooting. That's blocked by Brady, and now a delayed penalty coming to UCC as Malloy still has it. Malloy will give it to Bork. That's padded away by Ablett. As still not touched by UCC, as Stanstead will bring out the extra attacker as Mongrain gets back to the bench. Here's Malloy with it. He'll put it up, and it's finally touched by the Blues, as we will have a hooking call coming against the defender Rodriguez. So the Spartans will head back to the power play, where they found limited success so far, as it will be Lavoie out there to take the draw, but that's one and cleared down the ice by the Blues. And Orr will retrieve. Here's Dylan Orr with it. Orr, that pass is picked off and sent back to Burley, who will try and waste some more time off this power play, and Burley will send that one down the ice. Mohngren will stop it. Orr behind the net now, as he'll look to break that puck out again. Here's Orr, up to Dobos, up to DeSantis, who will stop up and give that pack up to Dylan Orr, down to DeSantis, up to Orr, Orr to Dobos, Dobos back up to Orr, Orr to Lavoie with the one-timer. That's stopped by Ablett, but kept in by the Spartans. That's down to Lavoie, up to DeSantis, to Lavoie. Lavoie now over to Dobos. Goal line to Mustonen. Mustonen climbing. Mustonen shooting. That's blocked away by Ablett. Here's Lavoie now put below the goal line. Kept in by Orr. Orr now moving. Orr still at the blue line with it. He'll give it to Dobos on the flank. Dobos down to Mustonen at the goal line. Mustonen back up top for Orr. Here's Orr. Orr now with it. He sends it back up to Mustonen. Mustonen now firing. That's blocked by Naka, and that will get out as Orr comes back to get it for the Stanstead, and he circles a few times to let his guys get back onside as Orr's with it. Orr over to DeSantis. He loses the handle, so DeSantis will send it in deep for Dubé. Here's Dubé with it now. Back to Shepard. Shepard down to Lavoie. Lavoie shot saved by Ablett. As UCC tries to clear, we're back to 5-on-5 as Banks with it now. Banks will pull one on that. That's saved by Ablett. As that's sent around to the blue line, but kept in there by Logan Foote. Logan Foote will put it in deep, as that is sent to Arrigo on the far side. Arrigo up to the blue line for Shepard. Shepard to net. That is gloved by Ablett. And finally able to get the whistle. Get some fresh legs out there for Dan Noble's team. This face-off now taking place to the right of Ablett. Banks on the draw. Banks now up to Arrigo. To Shepard, back to Arrigo. Arrigo now with it. Over to Foote. Foote to Shepard. Shepard back over to Foote as he puts it down to Dubé. Back up to Foote. As he tries to put one on, and that's blocked. But Shepard able to retrieve as he's pickpocketed by Crombie. Crombie with the shot. That's defended by Shepard. But in the Stanstead end, it's List with it now. Here's List wheeling around. List looking for Shuttleworth off the back post, but that's broken up. As that's given to Shuttleworth in the neutral zone, who will get it to Shepard in the Stanstead end, but now up to Banks. Banks now in a neutral zone for you. He has his pocket picked by Dubé, where he'll lose that puck to Bick, and away comes the Blues. Here's List with it. List shooting. That is high and wide as Shepard will collect and get it to the blue line for you. You will put that one on goal, but that's saved by Mohngren. List back up to you. You another shot. That gets tipped wide as Avery with it now for UCC. He'll find List in the slot, but that's through his feet. You with it now on the boards. He's muscled off the puck by O'Brien, who will chip it to the weak side, but no one home for Stanstead, as this is collected by Zhang. Here's Shepard with it around the boards for O'Brien. O'Brien will get there first, but he's pressured there by Yu. Yu now with it. Battle along the half wall, and the referee will blow this down rather quickly as we approach the halfway point of this game. 10:24 left in the second period. Shots now 29-20 for the Spartans. And Zhang will line up to take the faceoff. Jang will win the draw, and that puck will get back to the point for Rodriguez, who sifts one through, but that's blocked by Bork. And he'll just put that off glass and out, as they'll work this puck back in the neutral zone and put in by Dobosh. Here's Rodriguez over to Jang, who will move it up. As again, this is played into the neutral zone. Fauché with it now. He'll put that one in the neutral zone for O'Brien, as that's taken away from him by Rodriguez. Rodriguez now with it. He will flip to Fauché. Fauché will get this to Hayden, who will cut back and look to gain some speed as he advances. He'll give that puck to Logan, but that's knocked off his stick. And Avery now with it for UCC. Avery coming in wide, but he's hit hard there by Dobosh, as that puck will get back to Fauché, who moves it ahead to Hayden. Hayden now with it. Hayden pressured there, but he's able to one-hand it into the UCC end, where that's reversed by Burley to Jang. Jang with it now. Jang through the middle. That's off the stick of List, but put into the offensive zone, where List will chase DeSantis after it. DeSantis now up the wall, but that's kept in, but turned over to DeSantis. Here comes Gabriel DeSantis with it. He'll put that in the opposite corner for Malloy, who's had a big impact on this game so far. Malloy looking out front. Malloy still with it, circling. Malloy shooting. That's off the stick of Gans and off the back glass, as Gans takes his man to the ground. It's Hayden trying to swing that one out front, but in the feet of List. Gans now looking for Malloy out front. Malloy looking to backhand that one out, but that's blocked. Here's Malloy with it again. Malloy back up to the point for DeSantis. DeSantis getting one through the net. That's saved by Ablett. Rebound cleared by Butler. Here's Butler with it again. Butler will rim it around, but DeSantis comes down to pinch on that one. That'll get given to List. List will flip it over to Butler as he finally gets that one out. Big hit there by DeSantis, as Orr now carries the puck to the neutral zone. Malloy now with it. Malloy across the blue line. He'll drop it to Hayden. Hayden back to Malloy. Malloy in right into the breadbasket of Ablett. 8:04 remaining here in the second period. Shots now 31-21 for the Spartans, as his faceoff will come to the left of the goaltender Ablett. Face-off won by the Spartans, but controlled by UCC, as this is Nowakowski flipping it into the Stanstead end, where Mustonen will retrieve and give to Shepard, who will go rink wide to Foot. He'll get it up to Mustonen, but he's met there by Yu, and that puck will enter the UCC end, where Scott will pick it up. Here comes Scott. He'll move it ahead. That puck gets attempted to go across ice, but picked up by Dobosh, who will give it to Mustonen. Now flipped out of play to the Zamboni door, so this faceoff will come just inside of the, just in front of, the Spartans bench. Lavoie out there to take the draw for the Spartans. Lavoie winning this one back, but it's advanced to the middle to knock up, but well defended there by Fauché to cut him off, as this gets chipped ahead to Parker Banks, who will send it ahead to Dubé. Here comes Dubé in with speed. That puck will go in the corner where Dubé will retrieve, and he's pinned off. And flipped ahead and chipped out by the Blues. Fauché back on it. He'll send it over to Bourque. Bourque up the wall to Dubé. That gets bumped back to Lavoie. He falls down, but here's Banks with it. Banks shooting right into the belly of the goaltender Ablett. Certainly busy so far in this one. 32 shots against the Blues goaltender, as his faceoff will come to his right. Dobosh on the draw for the Spartans, as he's out there with O'Brien and Logan. This draw is won by UCC. That is Bick off the draw, as this puck gets reversed back to Jang. Jang up to Bick, as that gets tipped out of the zone. DeSantis now with it, though. As he'll come in. Here comes Gabe DeSantis. DeSantis, tried to get it over to O'Brien, but a nice play there by Rodriguez to break that one up. As that puck is sent into the Stanstead end. Or to O'Brien, who dangerously puts that one in front as that puck rattles around, and now a whistle. Referee lost sight of that one, so they'll blow that one down with 6:30 left in the middle frame. Dangerous play there by O'Brien to bring that one in front of his own net, but Mongrain doing a good job to be prepared and hold his post to keep that one out. As this faceoff will come to his right. Coach Thompson sending a fresh line out there. As this will be Brody Malloy on the draw. Malloy losing that draw to Zhang as he tries to push that to the point, but it's chipped ahead by Hayden. Here comes Tanner Hayden. Back to Malloy. Malloy shooting. That goes off the side of the net. Here's Tanner Hayden with it as he circles. Hayden now to Malloy. Malloy shooting. That goes high above the cage. That puck gets back to DeSantis. DeSantis trying to wrap that one in, but that's picked off by Bick, and away he goes. Bick coming in, but he'll turn that puck over, but Gans falls, so UCC will maintain possession. That puck gets worked out front to Zhang, but that's off his stick. And back to the point where it's put in by Burley. Burley in front to Zhang, and that's a good pass save there by Mongrain. Bick up the wall to Burley. Burley putting that one on goal. That's gloved down by Orr. Here's Bick with it as he gets taken down. Bick in the slot to Avery. Now put on goal by Butler, but sticked away by Mongrain as that puck is still in the Stanstead end and not cleared as Orr now advances it. Here comes Dylan Orr, but Hayden a little too aggressive. And that will go for offside. 5:23 left in this first period. Score still 4-1 for Stanstead. Shots 32-25 as this faceoff will come outside of the UCC zone, where it's Arrigo taking the draw for Stanstead against List for UCC as scramble draw one and put in by Shuttleworth. Stopped by Mongrain as Shepard puts that puck to the wall where it is won by Brady. Brady with it now battling with Arrigo as he gets clipped up high. Shepard to the wall for Mustonen, who will flip that one in the neutral zone, but it's Butler on it first. Butler spinning, falling, both players falling, but Butler will move it up to Brady. Brady into the middle for List. Here comes List with it. List, as he gets bodied by Foot. Arrigo into the corner with Shuttleworth. Here comes List behind the net. List out front. He'll give it to Novakowski. Novakowski will put that one on. That hits Arrigo and goes wide. As List puts one on the wall, that hits the outside of the post. As we will have a penalty here coming against Stanstead as some pushing and shoving occurs after the whistle. But it'll be Elijah Arrigo going to the box here. Another penalty away from the puck for Stanstead. As Arrigo will be called for the rough. So UCC back to the power play. See if they can make it a 2-goal game here on the man advantage. Remember last time they were on the power play, they gave up that shorthanded goal to Brody Malloy, who's back out there for the kill for the Spartans. So it'll be Zhang, List, Bick as the primary players out there for the Blues. As this draw is won by Zhang and controlled, where you will have it at the point. You will give it to Bick. Bick down, up to you. You back to Bick. Bick now with it. Bick dancing on the half wall. Bick. Cross ice to Crombeen. Crombeen taken down there by Malloy. But help came by List as this puck is sent back to you. You with it now. You. Over to Crombeen. Crombeen to the middle for List, but that's broken up as Crombeen gets it back to you. You over to Bick. Here comes Bick down the wall. He'll shoot that. Missing the net way wide, and that puck will come all the way down the ice. as you will retrieve it. Here's you. He has Malloy on him. He'll give that puck to Naka, but that's turned over to Dobosh. Puck ahead, and Orr will clear that one down the ice as Ablett out to play it. Ablett, fumbling around with it as he will cover up. Ablett in a weird puck handling position there as Malloy barreled down on him, so he made the decision to cover up. So this faceoff will come back into the UCC end with 56 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Elijah Arrigo. As this faceoff is pushed to Nowakowski. So he'll circle the net. Nowakowski drops it back to Scott, and here comes Scott. Up ahead to Rodriguez. He'll give it to Naka. Naka knocked off his stick by DeSantis. As battle on the half wall. That puck will get back to Scott at the top. Scott now over and taken away by DeSantis as DeSantis will pound this one down the ice. He stole that puck from Babcock. Ablett will give that to Scott, but he's under a lot of pressure by Dobosh. Dobosh will keep this puck below the UCC goal line for a little bit longer as more seconds tick off the clock here on the UCC power play. That's sent ahead, sent back to Scott as Scott will skate ahead, and he'll rim that one in as we return to 5-on-5 action as Arrigo exits the box. Here comes Orr looking ahead to Lavoie on the stretch pass. Lavoie gives it to Mustonen. Here comes Juuso Mustonen, and save by Ablett. Big acrobatic stop there by the goaltender as that puck sent the length of the ice, but on goal, so no icing. Molmgren will give it to Foote. Foote loses it as he exits the net, so he'll have to turn back as he gives that one to Shepard. Shepard up ahead to Dubé. Dubé chipping that one to Lavoie. Here comes Alexi Lavoie. He'll put that puck behind his back, and he'll try to move it ahead, but that's Burley sending it the length of the ice for icing. 1:48 left in this second period here as the faceoff will come back into the UCC end, where it'll be Lavoie on the draw for the Spartans. Lavoie losing that one to List, but unable to flip that one as Hayden puts that one in the opposite corner, and here comes Jang with it. Jang skating ahead with it. Jang will feed it over to List. List with it now below the. He's bumped off the puck by Foote as that's collected by Brady. Brady out there with Shuttleworth. Shuttleworth up to the point for Burley. That's put down for Shuttleworth as Shepard battles for it. Shepard will give it to Lavoie. Pokes it ahead to Dubé. Still in the Stanstead zone. That's getting sent to List as he's sent flying by Foote. Bit of a size mismatch there. Is that sent to Hayden? Hayden now enters. He'll give it to Logan Foote, who will shoot. That hit sounded like it hit some post as UCC will come back with it now. Here's Avery with it. Avery will drop, but Hayden's there. But Avery's still with the puck as he chops it ahead, but it'll be Corey Logan with it. Logan, and he gets kneed into the ice, but no call there as Zhang will get it. Zhang will try to give it to his teammate, but that's broken up, and Foote will clear to the line where it's kept in by Yu. Here's Bick with it on the half wall. Bick putting one on net. That's under the pad of Molmgren as Avery was looking for the rebound and some pushing and shoving. 27.8 seconds remaining in the frame. As this faceoff will come to the right of Molmgren. Zhang on the draw for the Blues. Zhang will lose that one to Logan as that goes back to Fauché. Fauché rounding the net now. He'll give it to Banks. Banks unable to get that out as that's kept in. Here comes Bork back on it first. Bork will reverse it to Fauché. Fauché now up off the glass, but I think that will go all the way down the ice for icing as Yu is first back for it. So 6 seconds left now in this second period, so enough time for a UCC face-off play. As I believe this will be Bick to take the draw for the Blues. Bick back to Crombine, back to you at the point. You on net, saved by Mongre. And that will do it for the second period. 4-1 Stanstead as the clock strikes 0. Shots 34-28 for the Spartans. And we'll be back after the flood. And we're back for third period action between Upper Canada College and Stanstead College. Stanstead holding a 4-1 lead now as we enter the final frame. As this puck will start in the Stanstead zone as Scott puts it back in deep. With Bick first to it. I'll go up the wall, and now Hayden looking to exit. Gans will kick it ahead, but that's to Scott, who will flip it back in. As Foot's back to it first for the Spartans. He'll give it to Shepard. Shepard now gets it to Malloy. Malloy will get by his man. Here comes Brody Malloy in. Glove saved by Ablett. Brody Malloy already with 2 goals today, looking for the hat trick. As he makes his case for player of the game. Here's Arrigo out to take the face-off now for Stanstead. Arrigo winning that one back to DeSantis. DeSantis shooting. That's blocked. Now that puck is sent up, but now sent back in by Mustonen as Arrigo chases, but that's worked around to the wall, up to Orr at the point. Orr trying to get that one through, but that's blocked. Butler now chopping it to Nowakowski on the wall, who will get it to Naka. Naka with Crombeen. Naka trying to put that through the legs of DeSantis, but defended well there. As that's put back up the wall, and now around by Dobosh, who to Orr. Here's Orr with it. Orr will try to move it ahead, but that's blocked by Naka. Naka up to the point for Rodriguez. Rodriguez over to Jang. Jang's shot. That's blocked by DeSantis. As Arrigo gets it now, and he'll get it up to Dobosh and out of the Spartans' end, as that puck will only get so far, but then turned over to Mustonen in the neutral zone. Here's Juuso Mustonen down. Cuts inside, shoots. That misses low to the blocker side, but comes out around. Now in front is Banks alone, and an acrobatic save there by Ablett. As that funny bounce found Parker Banks all alone, and now flipped down the ice, but waved off as Bork not back quick enough to get it. So Bork will give it to Fauché, who skates ahead, and he'll turn that puck over in the neutral zone, but Lavoie will continue to move it ahead to Scott. Scott over to Yu. Yu now moving. Yu will stop up, and he'll flip one into the Stanstead end. Fauché back to it first, but that will be one, and then thrown on net. That'll sit on the back of the goal, but now collected by Stanstead as Fauché moves it ahead to Banks. Banks. He'll try to work on Scott, but no winning there, but Banks will get the puck back. Banks just out of his reach as he tries to attack. Banks to the slot for Lavoie. Lavoie shot. That's blocked. Dubé shot in and out of the glove of Ablett as Brady skates away with it. Brady now flipping it to the line, but that's played down by Dubé. Here's Dubé with it now. Dubé working by himself, so he'll cut back. He'll give it to Shepard. Shepard knocked off his stick to Dubé. Dubé to Dobosh, but unable to corral it. Now back over to Shepard. Shepard cutting in. He'll find his partner Foot as he walks the blue line. Foot will now put one on net into the glove of Ablett, and we will get a whistle with 16:51 remaining here in this third period. This faceoff will come to the left of Ablett, with Corey Logan set to take the draw. Logan winning that draw to Dobosh, back to Shepard. Shepard, he'll have that pass go off a stick and out of play, so we will reset now from the other side, where Naka will take the draw for the Blues. Naka winning that one to the wall. It's O'Brien sending it back to Shepard. Shepard putting it around the boards. No one home, but Foot comes down the wall and knocks over his man, but it'll be the Blues with the puck as Burley moves it over. Here they come off the rush. That puck gets to Burley. He'll try to back one in on net, but that is wide. Now O'Brien chipping that one out and chasing it as Butler back to it first, but that's waved off by the official as Butler spins away from O'Brien. Butler up the wall, but that's moved off the stick and now flipped back in by Fauché as this will be Burley back for it, but he's checked hard by Malloy to cause the turnover. Out front, finds Gans in the slot. That's blocked. Rebound shot on goal as that lays in the crease and now tipped away by Butler as that puck gets to Bick in the neutral zone. He's 1-on-2 as he's sent into the boards hard there by Orr, but Bick still with it. He'll shoot from a sharp angle, but Mongrain holding his post nicely there to make the save as this puck is worked into the neutral zone for Tanner Hayden. Tanner Hayden now crossing the blue line. Here's Malloy with a shot. That's blocked and sent into the corner as Hayden will send it around for Gans. Gans back down to Malloy behind the net. Malloy up to Orr. Orr will put one on net. That's kicked away by Ablett as DeSantis now with the rebound. DeSantis will rip one high to the blocker side, but that rims around. That was Ablett's 40th shot on goal here, and we still have 50 minutes remaining in this third period. As Orr now with it behind the net. Orr, that's turned over. Here's Bick to the slot for Avery. That's muscled away by Mongrain in front. Rebound. And another good save there by Mongrain. Good sequence there for the Stanstead goaltender. As this puck is brought back by Malloy. And moved ahead to Hayden. Hayden now getting across the red line and sending that one in deep, where Rodriguez will be back on it first for UCC, but that's off a foot and will ricochet to Naka, who carries it through the zone. Here's Naka. He'll put that one into the corner. But Fauché back to it first. Fauché checked there by Naka, so Crombeen will have it. Crombeen will lose it to Fauché, but good forecheck there by the Blues to keep possession. As Crombeen will have it. He'll try and flip it to the line as Jang almost got that pass intercepted by Dobosh. But puck still in the Stanstead end as Crombeen keeps it on the wall. That will go down to Naka, who will backhand one wide. Here's Dobosh with it now as he has a head of steam. Dobosh now into the UCC end. He'll go one-on-one, and he'll one-hand one into Ablett, but saved there by the UCC goaltender. And now away comes you as he'll rim one in. Mongrain off his stick to Shepard. As Shepard stops behind the net. Shepard now up the wall to Banks, but he's checked by Scott, and List will carry with it. List, dancing, List will put it on net, and covered for a whistle, and now we'll have a penalty against Stanstead. As we have Banks going off for the charge. So UCC back to the power play with 13:34 left in this third period. We'll see if they can claw their way back into this one with a potential power play goal. So we'll have Crombeen, Zhang, Yu, Bick, and the List out there for Dan Noble's squad. With Malloy, Foot, Shepard, and Gans out for the kill. As this faceoff is won back to Foot, who will send it around for Gans. And that will be cleared down the ice. It'll be Yu back for it first as he will look to set up the power play breakout. Yu steps out from behind the cage. They'll give it to Zhang. Zhang now putting that puck in deep, but he's knocked down by Logan Foot. Big hit there. As this puck is sent to the line and kept in. Work to the weak side. But Zhang able to put that in deep as Shepard stops behind the goal. That puck is worked around, and Foot will be first to it, so he'll get that puck all the way down the ice and head off for a change as Ablett will stop it and leave it for Yu. Here's Yu coming around the net with it. He'll give that the puck to Bick, who will flip it by DeSantis and chase after it. He's pressured there by Orr. As battle ensues there in the corner, 4v1, but Orr doing a good job of tying it up. Here's List as he comes around the net with it. List now giving it to Crombeen, who will push it off to Yu. Back to Crombeen. Crombeen saucers one to Yu. Back to Crombeen. Yu and Crombeen playing catch, but they'll switch sides to Bick now. Bick down to goal line to Zhang. He turns and shoots, but that's saved by Mongrain. Back up to Bick. Bick now dragging, shooting. That's blocked. Now DeSantis with it. He'll clear the puck all the way down the ice with Ablett out to stop it. 25 seconds left in the penalty to Parker Banks. As Rodriguez now with the puck. Rodriguez skating ahead with it now. Here he comes. making his way across the blue line, putting that one on net and covered up by Mongrain. 12 seconds left in the UCC power play, and this faceoff will come to Mongrain's left. Naka out there to take the draw for the Blues. Naka winning that draw back to Scott. Scott over to the far side flank. As they give it to Naka in the slot, his one-timer goes wide. Back up to the point to Scott. That shot goes wide. Here's Babcock with it down to Nowakowski. We're back to 5-on-5 as that puck gets back to Scott. And now kicked into the slot, but secured by Tanner Hayden. And he stops up and will wait for the breakout. Hayden now. Still coming through the neutral zone. He'll flip that one into the corner where Scott will retrieve. Scott now skating ahead. Scott knocked off his stick and sent back into the Stanstead end where Ablett will play it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will give it ahead to Brady, but that's reversed by Foot, and now Lavoie will send it cross ice to Logan. Here's Corey Logan with it. Corey Logan will shoot. That's a pad save by Ablett. Logan back up top to Shepard. That's just held in. Shepard will put one in deep, but that misses everyone, and now Burley with it. Burley chopped to the blue line, but kept in by Stanstead. Now Burley with another attempt to get it out, and he will. He'll get that to center ice where Foot will get it to Shepard, and Shepard flipping it into the corner. It's Burley up the wall to Shuttleworth. Back to Burley. Burley stepping out. Burley looking to go cross ice, but that's blocked by Gans. And now finally sent in as we approach the halfway mark of the third period as this gets sent to DeSantis from Mongrain as Gans teams up ice. Gans will give it to O'Brien. Back to Gans as that's broken up nicely by Butler on the back check. As this puck is played on the half wall as this puck gets sent to O'Brien in the high slot, but broken up. Now Gans with it. Gans back down as Malloy puts a shot on net from the goal line, and that's saved by Ablett. Here's Malloy with it again. He'll try to find O'Brien, but that hits a skate, and will go all the way back down the ice. No icing here as that was self-inflicted, so DeSantis will skate away. He'll chip that puck out. DeSantis will try to put that one in, but that's stopped by Rodriguez on the wall as he strides ahead. Here's Rodriguez prancing over the blue line. Here he's still coming in. He's hit hard by Orr there as that puck will get out of the Stanstead end as Jang will put it back in. That hops over the stick of Mongrain. DeSantis now looking to chip it by the wall, but that's kept in. Here's Zhang with it. Zhang will cut back. Zhang will give it to Zhang. To Rodriguez. Rodriguez now shooting. Pad save, rebound. Still loose. As that gets sent back out front for Rodriguez. Here he is again. He's shooting. Big block by Gans. Another shot is blocked. And now looking to finally get that puck out is Dylan Orr as he will flip it to the line. That gets under the skate of Zhang. And here comes Gans. Gans one-on-one on Rodriguez. Gans pushing wide. Shooting wide. As Rodriguez will claim it. Send that over to Zhang. Zhang now. That hits the referee's skate, but will work out as that gets moved up to Bick. Bick, that pass tipped by Banks and sent over to Rodriguez, who will send it back to Bick. Here he comes. Bick now rimming that one high off glass around to Bork. Bork is checked there by Zhang. Zhang now able to step off the wall. That puck stays in, and maybe a chance for Stanstead here as Dubé comes in off the rush. Dubé finds Arrigo, but that's passes behind him, and UCC will skate the other way. Here's Bick giving it to Avery. Avery going through his legs and getting through, but a delayed penalty here as Avery falls down, and this will be Dubé headed off for the trip. Maybe not the strongest of penalty calls, but being down 4-1, the referee is giving the underdog the benefit of the doubt. So we'll go back to the power play for Upper Canada College with 7:42 remaining in this third period. Shots now 44-33 for Stanstead. No goal so far in this third period. Sure, Stanstead would be happy if it stayed that way, as this faceoff is won by Gans and pushed to the corner. But it's Nowakowski escaping with it. Nowakowski going up to Rodriguez, who sends that one back, and we might have a 2-on-1 here. Here's Malloy with Gans. Malloy over to Gans. Back to Malloy. He fans on that one, and that goes in on Ablett, who will play it as this puck is moved ahead to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will put that one in, but that's offside, so Gans now skating with it. He'll have all the time in the world as Emmanuel Gans will put this one in on goal, where Ablett will steer to the corner for Rodriguez. Rodriguez now stepping out and skating ahead with it. He'll give it over to Naka, who chips it in. As that play was actually deemed offside by the official, so this faceoff will come outside the zone. Minute 10 left in the penalty to Dubé. As Dobosh out there on the draw for Stanstead. Dobosh losing that draw as UCC takes a hold of it, as you will dump that puck rim that puck all around for List. But it's Dobosh to it first, but held it at the line by Bick. Bick will close in, but retreat. Bick over to Crombeen. He'll switch into the middle. Back over to Bick. Bick back up to Crombeen. Crombeen over to you. And Crombeen will switch again. That's out of his reach. As Crombeen falls down, and away comes Juuso Mustonen. Can he get by you? You able to defend him nicely as that puck gets chopped away. But here comes Bick with it. As the Stanstead forward's a little slow getting back. But that's chopped ahead. And maybe an opportunity here, but you wisely plays that up to Crombeen to List. List trying to turn back, but that's interrupted as that gets sent off the skate of you and into the corner as Fauché will look to clear. Fauché trying to get this one out, and that'll just get over the blue line as Dobosh tries to challenge, but that's Butler with it now as we're back even. As Zhang coming in with it, but unable to do so as Fauché challenges him in the corner. Fauché hit by List, so that puck will go to Bick. Back to the point for Burley. Burley shooting. That gets deflected on goal, but pad saved by Mongrain. Here's Logan with it now as he comes in. He'll dish it off to Hayden. Hayden trying to cut to the middle. Hayden still with it. Hayden. That's knocked off his stick as he's hauled down, and Stanstead will go to the power play as Tanner Hayden gets hauled down. See what the official call is, but I would guess it's for a hold. It'll be a slash. And this will come on Bick. So Stanstead to the power play with 5:15 remaining here in this third period. Stanstead not needing any more goals, but certainly not looking to give up any more either. So we'll see how they use this time on the power play, how aggressive they'll be. As Malloy set to take the draw for the Spartans, he'll win that back to Shepard. Shepard with it now at the point. Shepard will give it to Foot. Foot back to Shepard. Shepard down to Malloy, who'll step in firing. He fans, but that's only cleared back to the blue line to Foot. Foot to Hayden. Hayden shooting, blocker save by Ablett, and that will go out of play. Nice save there by the Blues goaltender, who's certainly been busy in this one, that being his 47th shot against. Even though he's letting the 4 goals, he has that 90% save percentage. As that faceoff is won by Malloy. Foot now with it. Over to Shepard, down to Hayden. And that puck's cleared to the line, but kept in by Shepard. He'll put one to net. That's blocked. Rebound. Oh, off the post. Gans played that rebound over to Malloy at the back post, but that hit the post and stayed out as Gans will retrieve. But that pass is sent into the middle for Naka as he looks to attack. UCC, big hit there by Foot to stop Naka in his tracks. UCC probably going to be aggressive on the penalty kill as they're starving for some offense here down the stretch as Foot will flip that one to Malloy, who makes a nice move to get away from you. He sends that across to Hayden as they look to set up. Here's Hayden with it. He toes the blue line. He'll send it in for Malloy, but that's out of his reach. Malloy will send it back up top to DeSantis. DeSantis over to Orr. Orr back to DeSantis. Back to Orr. Orr now with it over to Hayden. Hayden now getting in his position. He shoots. That's blocked by you. As DeSantis will send it back down to Malloy. Malloy looking. He sends it to goal line to Moosonen. Back to Malloy. Malloy up to Orr. Orr shooting in and out of the glove. Rebound. Played to the line to Orr. Back over to DeSantis. DeSantis off his stick, but we'll send it back to Orr. He'll switch with DeSantis. Now Malloy with it on the half wall. Down to Moosonen at the goal line. Moosonen pushing out front. Couple shots there, but a couple pad saves by Ablett. That puck gets worked up to Orr. Over to Malloy shooting. That's high and wide. And that'll come all the way back into the neutral zone as we go back to 5-on-5. 3:15 remaining in this one as DeSantis skates ahead. He'll drop it for Moosonen, but that's turned over. And here come the Blues. Naka off the skate of Dobos and back into the Stanstead end as that puck is reversed around to Dobos. Dobos ahead with it now. He falls to his knees and a soft call there as Dobos seemed to slip, but the referee will deem this as a hook on Crombean. Not sure I even agree with that one. So Stanstead back to the power play with 2:49 left in this one. Stanstead now at 50 shots. This will certainly make it much harder for UCC to come back. Stanstead really just needing to kill some clock here, but Orr will have it at the top as he'll give it to Dobos into the bumper for DeSantis. Back out to Dobos. He'll give this up to Orr. Over to Lavoie. Back up to Orr as Orr will give it to Lavoie. One-timer. Saved by Ablett. Rebound. Popping out and collected by the Spartans as it's Dobos with it now. Dobos up to Orr. Orr now to Dobos. Into the bumper for DeSantis. He'll rip one high over top of the cage. So this faceoff will stay inside the UCC end as 32 seconds have elapsed on the power play so far. Lavoie back to take the faceoff. Lavoie will win that one to Dobos, who will send it back to Shepard, and he'll send that over to Foot. Foot down to Lavoie, who will send it up to Shepard. Shepard to Dobos to Lavoie. That's off his skate. As Nowakowski, pressuring him. Scott to the line, but not out. Kept in by Dobos. Dobos flipping it to Foot. Foot to Shepard to Mustonen. Mustonen pushed on the boards, but he finds a lane. Mustonen to the net, and that just goes underneath the stick of Foot as that puck goes up to Shepard. Back to Lavoie, who will send it deep. But Scott the only one there for Stanstead as UCC breaking the zone for a 2-on-1. In, but Nowakowski getting pushed too deep and not getting a good passing angle over to Zhang as Dobos now with it. You might see a bit more of that as UCC flying the zone, but here's Dobos sending one to Corey Logan on the far side. And Stanstead now getting called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as Shepard's night will come to an end. I could not make out why that was being called, but Shepard will be sent to the showers early. As we have 1:16 left here in the period, 27 seconds left in the penalty to Crombean. I believe this will just be a a 2-minute power play or penalty against Shepherd. So we will play 4-on-4 for 27 seconds. Now the UCC coach getting thrown out of this one. So we'll be back to 4-on-4 here for the remainder of this one. Or, sorry, that's Shepherd only getting a 10-minute misconduct in a game. So he is now done, but Stanstead will keep on the power play for the next 13 seconds or so as that puck gets moved up to Bork. Bork now over to Logan. Logan up to Fauché. Fauché to Logan as we enter the last minute of play here. As Logan gets a shot on net, that's saved by Ablett. Now we're even as Crombie exits the box, not able to get that pass as Bork will be back on it as we only have 40 seconds left in this one. Bork now up the wall and out, so Rodriguez back for it. Rodriguez will move it over to Burley. Maybe one last rush here for the Blues. As that's sent around to Crombie. Orr now with it. Orr circles back. Or we'll get it to the wall to DeSantis. DeSantis will get it out of trouble, and UCC will flip it back in as there's 10 seconds left in this one. Stanstead will head to the final tomorrow, where they will meet up with their local rival, Bishop's College Schools, for what should be a great final here at the Pat Burns Arena. But that will do it here, as we wait for the of the game presentations. I will guess Brody Malloy for Stanstead, and then for UCC, I think you have to give it to the goaltender, Shane Ablett. That was a very courageous performance. Will Scott winning that one for UCC, the big defenseman having himself a good game. And Emmanuel Gans winning that one for Stanstead, having himself a good game as well. But that will do it here at the Pat Burns Arena. We'll see you tomorrow for the final day of action.